Hello, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. Today's episode is going to be in English language. I've been going back and forth between Spanish and English, and I just want to make sure that everybody that loves boxing and people that want to be up to date on everything that's going on with great fights, great fighters, upcoming fights, commentaries, everything else around the world and Latin America are able to access this program, which is done with a lot of love, guys, and with a lot of honesty for all you boxing fans out there. For all you boxing fans out there, I really, really hope you have an excellent 2025, and may God bless you and prosper you beyond your wild imagination. But anyway, I told you so. Didn't I say weeks ago? All right, let's go over a few things here. Let's go over a few things, man. And I'm sorry, I'm sounding a little bit cocky today. All right, but hey, man, when you're right, you're right. And these are things that you don't need to be rocket scientist. You don't have to actually be a genius to actually come up with these deductions of what's going on in the boxing world. You just have to have experience in the sport and actually see the way some of these so-called champions behave. All right, so I'm talking about Teofimo Lopez and the Matias fight being canceled or being turned down by the one and only, the takeover, how I call him, the leftover Teofimo Lopez. All right, the leftover Teofimo Lopez. I call him a charlatan in Spanish, charlatan, which means that you can't believe anything coming out of his mouth, and I've been saying that for a while. All right, let's go over the timeline. All right, on December 23rd, 2024, less than a month ago, the news broke out that Teofimo Lopez, and it was on ESPN and all over the news, all right? All over the sports news and YouTube channels that jumped on this news immediately, all right? That Teofimo Lopez and Matias were trying to come to an agreement for a fight on March this year, 2025. I can't remember exact date. March something. And I remember seeing all of these YouTube channels with some of these so-called boxing experts, which I call them, some of them are, they are knowledgeable, but some of these other guys are just posting information for clickbait purposes, for people to click on them. And their knowledge of boxing, I'm going to reserve my opinion on how much knowledge they have of the sport of boxing. They usually go with gossip and things of that nature, all right, in order to get clicks. So a whole bunch of these channels from these kids, and I call them kids because I'm in my 60s, so anybody that's under 40 years old is a kid to me. Some of these kids, just took that news and immediately posted, Matias is fighting Teofimo Lopez, great news. All of these comments, all of these YouTube channels jumping on the bandwagon and just going with the news that Teofimo Lopez was going to face Matias in March. All right, that was December 23rd. December 25, I waited a couple of days. I said, well, let me see if this is truly something that's going to happen. Something should come out soon where Teofimo Lopez or either Matias can make an announcement to their boxing fans that actually they will be facing each other, some more information, a contract, so on and so forth. And I didn't see anything for a couple of days. I didn't want to comment on this news because, like I said, it was just, in my opinion, something that was not concrete, something that was just spoken about. And knowing how Teofimo Lopez is and how much little credibility this guy has, I really didn't think that was going to happen. So on December 25th, Christmas Day, I uploaded an episode where I said exactly Matias versus Teofimo Lopez, doubtful. And I expressed my opinions why I believe that fight was not going to come to fruition, why that fight, Teofimo Lopez would never step inside the ring against Suriel Matias. First of all, Suriel Matias is coming off a victory by knockout in second round against, how can I call it? I don't want to insult the guy, but he's ranked number 100. He's a part-time boxer from Mexico. And Matias didn't look that well. He looked, very vulnerable. He got hurt in the first round. It was not a convincing outing by Suriel Matias. And I actually did a follow-up video regarding Suriel Matias and what he should do, 10 things he should do in order to become a champion again, a world champion again. He should fight immediately, try to get a matchup against top contenders. And I mentioned before the news now, more news about the possibility that Suriel Matias will be facing Elvis Rodriguez. I mentioned it 10 weeks ago. All right. And if you have been following this channel, a lot of months ago, I mentioned Suriel Matias should fight Elvis Rodriguez. And that was maybe 3, 4, 5 months ago. I can't remember how many months ago that episode was, where I actually saw what other options Suriel Matias had, just in case the battle fight would not come into fruition. All right. And after the Roberto Rodriguez spectacles there in Puerto Rico, where Suriel Matias was hurt on the first round, looked really bad, poor defense. I mean, I don't think that was a great showing, in my opinion, about Suriel Matias. But I mentioned, he should fight Elvis Rodriguez, who is ranked, I believe he was ranked top 8 or something like that in the IBF. Anyway, it seems that everybody's getting on the bandwagon again. And as soon as the news come out, or about Suriel Matias' possibility of fighting Elvis Rodriguez, you got some of these kids immediately. Suriel Matias is fighting Elvis Rodriguez. They're in negotiations. But hey, why didn't you say that you were wrong about your comments about Suriel Matias fighting Teofimo Lopez? Some of these kids in these channels forgot what they said they've been talking about Suriel Matias fighting Teofimo Lopez, about things that Teofimo Lopez was saying about Suriel Matias, all this other stuff, just gossip, but no facts. Guys, in this channel, you're going to hear facts, and you're going to hear straight talk. You're not going to hear any BS, no bullshit, all right? That's not what I'm all about. I'm all about the sport. I'm not about fanatics. I'm not about, I'm not about casuals. I'm not about all these people that actually don't know much about the sport of boxing, and they start arguing with me about something they know nothing about. And I tell you this because I had some comments, and not only in English, but in Spanish. I guess it was maybe the same person, 1 or 2 people were saying, well, coach, you don't know what you're talking about. Suriel Matias is already planning on a mega fight to fight Teofimo Lopez, and you're going to see what are you going to do when that happens. And I said, well, I hope it does happen. It's not like I want something bad to happen with Suriel Matias' career. I'm just saying what I think Suriel Matias should do in order to become a champion again. And that is my opinion as a boxing coach, and that's my opinion as an analyst. It's not hating. It's just talking facts. All right? And I told this person, well, I hope it does happen, but I really, truly doubt it. I think Teofimo Lopez is going to come up with some excuse at the last minute And I haven't heard anything about Suriel Matias training for this fight. I haven't heard anything about Suriel Matias mentioning he's going to fight Teofimo Lopez. And neither have I heard Teofimo Lopez say anything about fighting Suriel Matias. So, therefore, I'm discounting that news. I'm not believing on that news until I see Teofimo Lopez inside the ring. And that's what I mentioned. When I see Teofimo Lopez inside the ring against Suriel Matias, then I will believe it. Okay, so in a nutshell, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I was one of the first ones, if not the first one, 2 days after the news broke out that Suriel Matias was going to be fighting Teofimo Lopez. I was, if not the first one of the first ones who said, no way, Jose, that's not going to happen. All right, just look at my previous videos, you'll see, and it's not, like I said before, it's not that I know more than other people, it's just common sense, guys. There's nothing for Teofimo Lopez to gain to fight a person like Suriel Matias, who lost his championship, comes out of a terrible outing against a 100th ranked individual. Suriel Matias has to gain that status again. He's in the back of the line. I think he's ranked number 5th in the IBF, if I'm not mistaken. He's top 10, so he can get back up there again with a decisive victory over a top 10 contender. In this case, I mentioned right after Roberto Ramirez fight, he should fight Elvis Rodriguez, which is a news that just came out a couple of days ago. So, guys, I'm a little bit ahead of the curve. If you want to know exactly what some of these things, some of the possibilities that could happen for some of these fighters, and how much I believe that some of these fighters are legit, and my opinions about, prospects and about the fight game itself, tune into this channel. Well, you hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You'll hear my honest and unbiased opinion. And that's the thing. I'm not biased. I'm not a yes man. I'm not a fanatic. I'm not a fanboy of any of these fighters. I love how Suriel Matias was fighting when he was with Panda. The battle fight surprised me, like it surprised everybody else. We don't know who that person was up there in the ring that night. That was not the Suriel Matias I'm used to watching. And I hope that Suriel Matias comes back again, all right, with that desire that he had. He shows me that he has no ganas. He showed me in that fight, and in the fight with Roberto Ramirez. After the fight, did you see him doing that dance, the stepping? No, he didn't do it because he felt embarrassed. But anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents. Teofimo Lopez, again, is training now with Canelo camp, and Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez. So he's some of that ducking sickness that Canelo suffers from by consistently ducking the best fighters like Benavidez and some other fighters is actually contagious. And it seems that Teofimo Lopez has contracted the ducking virus, if you want to call it that. All right. So, moving forward, I don't know what Teofimo Lopez is going to be doing. I really wouldn't surprise me. He fights somebody else that actually has less relevance than Suriel Matias. He fought Claggett, had a problem with Claggett. He had 2 fights previous to that in which he looked terrible. And in my opinion, and in the opinion of many experts out there, he lost those 2 fights against Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz. But anyway, guys, these are my 2 cents for today. It's Wednesday here in Miami. Beautiful, beautiful day. Sunny day, but it's like in the 50s right now, so it's kind of chilly. But anyway, guys, again, thank you for tuning in today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what your comments are regarding Teofimo Lopez. And to those who actually were telling me that I was going to regret saying that Teofimo Lopez and Suriel Matias were not going to fight. Guess what, guys? I hate it when I'm wrong. but this one I was right about. But anyway, guys, until next time, Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, saying hasta la vista. God bless you all and peace.